Hello everyone. We are here to acquaint you with the remarkable NeurOptimal brain training system, its unique process, fundamental philosophy, and the technical intricacies that make it an extraordinary tool for personal growth and transformation. If you've seen any of our previous video content or this isn't your first introduction to NeurOptimal, then stay with us because this video will help you gain a deeper understanding of some of the finer details of how NeurOptimal works. Here's what we're going to cover. What NeurOptimal is and the impact that it can have in your life, the scientific basis and theory that forms the foundation of NeurOptimal's unique approach to brain training, and how NeurOptimal works with the brain to unlock some pretty amazing shifts. You're also going to hear from real people about their experience with NeurOptimal. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of how the brain works, how NeurOptimal works, and what training your brain with NeurOptimal could mean for you. Let's start with what NeurOptimal is. Put simply, NeurOptimal is a brain training system that can help you live life to the fullest by unleashing your potential. This is our sole focus at Zengar. We've been privy to countless awe-inspiring transformations in the people who use NeurOptimal worldwide, and we're excited to help you discover yours. Before we get into how it works, let's list some of the benefits of training with NeurOptimal that we've heard from our clients. While this isn't an exhaustive list, people have reported unlocking their natural intrinsic capability towards focus and concentration, managing stress and anxiety, creativity and problem-solving skills, memory and learning, sleep quality, and overall well-being. Most importantly, NeurOptimal is easy to operate and safe and effective for people of all ages. It's been used by thousands of people around the world and has been designated as a general wellness product by the FDA. If you're ready to start your NeurOptimal journey, we hope this video will help you understand more about how and why it works, and we're excited to teach you about how NeurOptimal can support you in your move towards discovering your potential. Here's what we know about how the brain works. Brains are dynamical. The dynamical structure of the brain is constantly changing using nonlinear processes. The brain is constantly adjusting to internal and incoming stimuli in a ceaseless, perpetual manner. These processes in a brain are complex and don't follow a straightforward pattern. Instead, they work in many different ways at once, always adjusting to whatever is going on around or inside us. These nonlinear dynamical processes and structure are how the brain responds to things like what we see, hear, think, or feel. Imagine it like a radio that's always tuning itself to pick up new signals, whether those signals come from inside you or the environment around you. Communicating to the brain through NeurOptimal. NeurOptimal takes advantage of the brain's natural way of communicating with itself. It utilizes the unique mathematical language of the central nervous system, allowing for direct and clear communication. This means that NeurOptimal speaks the language of the brain, helping it restore its intrinsic capabilities of functioning. It does this all while meeting each person where they're at whatever point in time, regardless of their unique process variability. If the term process variability is new to you, let me explain it briefly because it's one we'll be using throughout this video. Process variability refers to the natural fluctuations and changes in brain activity and neural processes. Unlike a machine or an idealized model, the brain doesn't always function in perfectly predictable ways, even when performing the same task multiple times. This variability is a key feature of the brain's dynamical structure. Variability allows the brain to be flexible, adaptive, and resilient. Instead of rigidly reacting the same way to a stimulus, the brain can explore different solutions or strategies for responding. Flexibility and resilience are essential for learning and adapting to new environments or situations. Nature is filled with examples of brains constantly on the lookout for different stimuli. Just like a deer grazing by the road, we operate in a world with ever-changing environments. The deer might be munching happily, unfazed by familiar traffic noise, but the sudden snap of a twig throws everything into question. Is there a threat? Do I need to do something about this? Similarly, on your drive to work, you might tune out the usual sounds, but a blaring siren will instantly grab your attention. You quickly assess for a potential threat, realize it's on a different street, and continue on your route. This is not conscious deliberation, it's all done before conscious thought can even occur. NeurOptimal utilizes this understanding by offering a unique training system that mirrors the brain's own natural language of detecting differences. Now, let's build on this understanding with an overview of the philosophy and the core principles of NeurOptimal, starting with training, not treatment. Neurooptimal is not a treatment. Rather, it operates on the principle of training the brain to restore its access to its intrinsic capability. By providing the brain with real-time feedback about its own activity, Neurooptimal allows the brain and central nervous system to self-regulate. This approach empowers individuals to tap into their brain's innate capacity for self-regulation, promoting overall well-being through flexibility and resilience. How does flexibility and resilience impact quality of life? Flexibility allows us to adapt to new circumstances, embrace change, and think creatively when facing problems, while resilience gives us the strength to recover from setbacks and persist through adversity. Together, these qualities reduce stress, improve mental and physical health, and foster healthier relationships. They also empower us to pursue personal goals and maintain well-being in rapidly changing environments, leading to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Neurooptimal's emphasis on training rather than treatment acknowledges the brain's incredible ability to learn, consolidate, and reorganize itself, and this can lead to lasting improvements in numerous aspects of mental, emotional, and physical health. Neurooptimal is designed to utilize the brain's natural communication system of detecting change and moving away from internal or external discomfort. As an example, when a person sits in a position too long, they naturally start to feel less comfortable, and as that occurs, they unconsciously shift to a new position. The original position wasn't necessarily bad, nor is the new one necessarily the best. It's simply our body's way of moving away from the discomfort and difference when it feels right to do so. Neurooptimal uses this to support the brain's natural tendency to move away from discomfort and move towards self-regulation, resilience, and flexibility. I would like to stress that there are no absolute values for the electrical activity required for specific cognitive functions. Put simply, this means that every brain and every session of Neurooptimal is different, so it doesn't try to push your brain toward or away from any predetermined state. Instead, it helps your brain unlock what's possible, which will look different for everyone. There's no single measure of normal when it comes to brain function. Each person is unique, and so is their brain's intrinsic possibilities. Think about a baby taking their first steps. Their legs are wide apart, their stance is wobbly as they lift each foot. Every baby does it differently, right? There's no single perfect starting position, yet somehow they all learn to walk. This is how our brains work. Process variability tells us that there is not one absolute correct way for our brain to process information or perform tasks. Just like those wobbly babies, our brain can take different pathways to achieve similar outcomes. Neurooptimal supports each individual as they train to be their best in their own unique way.
So before I started my sessions, I was feeling very fatigued, overwhelmed, and just not able to cope with my daily life. I feel that the brain training has helped me in all aspects of my life, with being a mother, a daughter, working as a nurse. Energy level has increased, my ability to process information, as well as deal with stressful situations.
In being on the journey with Sarah, I've witnessed her life be transformed physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's such a privilege to be on a journey with someone through their brain training.
The Neurooptimal neurofeedback system provides real-time feedback your brain needs to return to its most natural and optimal state. The beauty of the system is that it's passive and non-invasive and completely safe for people of any age. There are a few different options to train. You can train in office with a trainer, you can rent a system to train at home, or you can purchase your own system to be able to train yourself, your family, and others as well. The Neurooptimal training process is a unique journey for every person. Whatever shifts your brain makes with the training can transform almost any aspect of your life.
I recently started a business. Before that, I had so much fear starting something new. I never thought that I would start my own business, but after the sessions and brain training, the barriers have come down, and I'm more positive and confident, and I'm so excited for what the future is. I've recommended it to people of all ages. They have had the same type of progress in different aspects of their life. Increased positivity, increased confidence. They're having much more aspects of their life being more clear. If someone's thinking about doing this type of training, I would say don't wait. You don't know how blocked you are until it's actually clear.
Behind NeuroOptimal lies the science of dynamical neurofeedback. Specifically designed to be self-adjusting, NeuroOptimal eliminates the need for trainer adjustments during sessions. It does this by providing comprehensive and adaptive information moment to moment, unique to each person who trains with it in each session. This user-friendly approach enhances safety and efficiency. Dynamical neurofeedback is intuitive and ever-changing and provides feedback in response to the entire brain's activity in the moment, rather than targeting specific areas of the brain. This allows the brain to learn to regulate itself more effectively. Just like a surfer is constantly adjusting to the turbulent waves, NeuroOptimal is constantly and dynamically adjusting to provide information of those changes to the user's brain. Can you imagine surfing in choppy ocean waves? The intensity of the ocean changes constantly, and the water flow varies depending on the season, location, time of day, temperature, wind. To stay upright, surfers must continuously adapt, adjusting their stance, balance, leg movements, and even toe grip on the board in response to the ever-shifting waves. There's no best stance or place of balance. As the waves, wind, and velocity change, so must the surfer's position in order to stay on the board. Imagine again a kaleidoscope. With each twist, a new beautiful image appears, distinct from the last, yet formed by the same colorful pieces. Just like the ever-shifting patterns in the kaleidoscope, our brains are constantly changing. This provides NeuroOptimal with a unique view of the brain each and every moment of every session.
So both of my boys were diagnosed with an extremely rare metabolic condition back in 2010. It causes seizures and varying degrees of disabilities, both intellectually and physically. With the boys' condition, that caused PTSD in me, that was a lot of chronic worry, chronic stress, fear for the future, and a lot of anxieties on a day-to-day basis. My eldest son passed away in 2016. He also had ADSL deficiency, and he was just 9.5 years old when he passed away. My life was pretty full on, and I thought there was something wrong with me. I felt like my wheels were spinning, but I was going nowhere. I was anxious about things. I had a lot of fear or indecisiveness, and why couldn't I keep it all together? Why can't I stay focused? Why can't I stay on task? Why can't I achieve my goals? I was a pretty highly motivated person before. I felt like I was in absolute self-destruction. I think I'm usually a pretty positive person, but I was really scared I'd never get my life back on track. I'd spent 7 years doing all this work on myself, and then I heard a lot about the neurofeedback in the books that I was reading as I was studying counselling and trauma release exercises. And then they were talking about how, neurofeedback can help people with PTSD and things like that. And I thought, well, I'm going to give this a go. And so then I started looking for someone local, and that was Steve.
It's been amazing working with Natalie and her son to support them in their change process. People just sit in a nice comfortable chair, often with a blanket. We connect the sensors up, which measure electrical activity, and there's feedback, which is in the form of an interrupt in the music, which brings the brain back to present. And that's what supports the brain to process information more efficiently and to self-optimise or self-correct.
And a couple of days later, I just noticed just little things. Got up and I just went straight into my morning routine rather than ruminating over what I was going to do for the day. I wasn't so stuck in loops. It was a really lovely experience, just so relaxing. I love it. I do it now probably at least 3 times a week.
NeuroOptimal works like a mirror. It measures the electrical activity of the brain and provides real-time feedback about what it just did, is doing right now, or is likely to do. This continuous mirroring of information provides the opportunity for your brain to naturally decide to shift or not in each moment, eventually facilitating lasting changes and newfound comfort. If you're ready to tap into your potential, NeuroOptimal is the perfect way to do it. Picture this. You're walking by a mirror and catch a glimpse of yourself and notice that you're slouching. Most people would straighten up right away. Like a mirror, the feedback during a NeuroOptimal session acts as a guide for the central nervous system, allowing it to make its own adjustments as it sees fit. It really is that simple. Let's build on what we've covered so far and dive a little deeper into the brain's dynamical structure and how NeuroOptimal works to help you achieve personal growth and transformation. Understanding that the brain is dynamical reminds us that every person is unique. Experiences can change between and even during sessions. Diet, physical activity, mood changes, medication, and even relationship interactions can vary from week to week. Your journey with Neuro-Optimal is always dynamical, adjusting to any circumstance. This means that the stage is set to start recognizing ongoing changes throughout your Neuro-Optimal journey as it adapts to your unique wants and needs, helping you on a path towards your potential. Understanding the intricate workings of the brain is beyond the scope of this video, but I want to leave you with a clear overview of some key concepts and theories of Neuro-Optimal. Dynamical neurofeedback takes into consideration that there are 4 control procedures that manage dynamical systems. These control procedures can interfere with one another if we're not cognizant of when to use them together. Neuro-Optimal uses mathematical processes known as JTFA, which stands for Joint Time Frequency Analysis, and NDS, which means Nonlinear Dynamical Structures. These mathematical tools are used with the control procedure called synchronization through chaos. These kinds of analyses give us the ability to utilize minute changes within internal and external data, a unique benefit that only Neuro-Optimal can offer. Now, this may sound all pretty complex, and to be fair, it is, but don't worry, this is only a very brief introduction, and for those who want to go deeper, I'd encourage you to sign up for our certification course. I'll tell you how you can do that at the end of the video. Neuro-Optimal doesn't require someone who's medically trained to oversee the session because the expertise is all built into the system.
Hi, my name's Natasha. I have 2 kids, 14-year-old son, grade 8, and an 18-year-old daughter, first year of college. So what brought me to Neuro-Optimal was a friend of mine who suggested it for both my kids to help them academically and socially. Mainly throughout the years, we noticed the progress with homework, socializing, with friends, with people. He had a hard time focusing on things. We're all more calm. There's no more yelling like there used to be. We kind of talk through things now. We sleep better. We're just in a great position compared to how we were 5 years ago. I definitely don't see us stopping Neuro-Optimal. It's done so well for us thus far, so I'm just going to continue pushing the family to keep going forward with this.
Historically, neurofeedback systems were designed to target specific conditions or complaints, thinking as the medical model does that they believe they can fix a specific problem with a specific treatment. However, understanding that the brain is a nonlinear dynamical system makes it difficult, if not impossible, to target specific areas of the brain through neurofeedback. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack on a windy night while wearing mittens. Neuro-Optimal takes a different approach to functional targeting. Instead of targeting specific frequencies or physiological states of the brain, Neuro-Optimal monitors the brain's entire activity and provides feedback as it changes. This feedback helps the brain to learn to regulate itself more efficiently. Imagine your brain as a GPS. Unlike a paper map, which just shows you a static route, the GPS constantly monitors every street and intersection, just like your brain unconsciously tracks all of its activity in real time. When the GPS detects a traffic jam or a detour, much like the brain senses a shift in its activity, it doesn't rely on pre-programmed routes. Instead, it instantly recalculates the most efficient available path to reach the destination. The GPS might reroute and flow you through a different part of the city to avoid obstacles, just as Neuro-Optimal helps you recalibrate the information flow of your brain moment to moment. Here's a key difference. Neuro-Optimal is unlike a conventional neurofeedback system. It does not target specific frequencies or areas. Instead, it monitors and helps the brain adjust itself. It's a system that dynamically adapts to your brain's unique activity in each moment. Why is this important? With the understanding that the brain constantly changes and consolidates information, it's important to use a neurofeedback system that can respond to the brain's changing events quickly. Neuro-Optimal is designed to do just that. It provides feedback that is specific to the individual's unique brain activity on a moment-to-moment basis, so it can help the brain improve its functioning across the board. This means that experiencing ongoing shifts and changes as you train is expected. No one session will be the same. There is no set right way to train with Neuro-Optimal. We encourage everyone to make their own decisions. This includes how often they want to do sessions, what time of day, how many sessions they feel is right for them now, and also if they want to sleep, read, or relax while they do it. Neuro-Optimal is permissive, not restrictive. As you become more and more mentally flexible and resilient to life's challenging moments, you'll come to understand the true power of dynamical neurofeedback and what it feels like to have a brain trained by Neuro-Optimal. In this video, you've received an introduction to some of the key foundations of Neuroptimal and how it works. If you're interested in learning more, then we'd love to welcome you into the Neuroptimal certification course. In it, we provide in-depth training on the science and how to use Neuroptimal effectively. If this is your first taste of Neuroptimal and you haven't tried it for yourself, please don't just settle for the theory. Try Neuroptimal and let your experience back up what you've heard. You can find a trainer in your area or purchase a system from our website. Thank you so much for watching. Are you ready to unlock your potential?